Hello and welcome to day 2. Some of you were with us yesterday. Some of you I'm seeing weren't on yesterday. And yes, you can absolutely catch the replay. It's all here on the YouTube channel. And you should see somewhere around here, it will give you a link back to day 1. And this one again will be a replay as soon as we get to the end of it. So hey, check out the new swag, the new merch. What do you think to this? Thank you to Katie for sending this over to me. I hope I'm modelling it well. So here we are. So today, day 2, we are looking at streaming. So yesterday we had a kind of an overview and we looked around the navigation. I reckon it's going to slot together as we start using this today. So we're going to get into this. Good to see you all. Just catching a few of the other names that are down here. We can start now. Donnie, that is, isn't it? Good to see you. Right, so catch the replay for yesterday if you missed that one. Those of you that were with us yesterday, what were your biggest takeaways? I know I saw one person, for instance, who said they didn't know about widgets. That was a new thing to them, that you could bring in a web page like that. What else was it? Anything else that maybe you saw that you didn't know was there, or maybe you've been around for a while and it was something that was just a reminder? I'd love to know about that. And did any of you take the preferences sheet and actually go and set things up inside of Ecamm so that you got it all working right? Again, let us know, and that'll be really cool. Now, especially here on YouTube, and you'll get used to this, and actually you're going to see this in practice today, because when we go live, there is a bit of a delay when, I say something on here, from me saying it to you hearing it at the other end, could be 10-15 second delay. So when you're actually doing a live stream, just know that. And when you ask a question and you sit here awkwardly waiting for an answer, you got to keep things moving, because when you've said it, they haven't even heard it yet. So and then they got to type something out. So we've always got to give a bit of a delay in there and a chance for people to come back. So widgets, Jeremy said, loving the challenge series. John and Suzanne, is it one of you or both of you? Welcome anyway. Is it possible for a guest to share his own presentation on Ecamm? Yeah, absolutely. And I will quickly take this one, then we're going to put the questions at the end. But yes, you can absolutely do that. And the profiles that I gave you, we'll talk about those Friday, but I've actually given you one so that when your guest comes in, they can share their screen and it's all set up and ready for you to do. So make sure you join us and catch in on Friday when I'm really going to walk through all of that. Widgets again. I reckon we're going to have, I think I'm going to show you some widgets today. How to customize the cover, okay? Yep, great. Right, lovely. So both of us, awesome. Well, very welcome. 2 for the price of 1. Mic delay work through if you're using Ecamm into Zoom. Yeah, absolutely, Barb. Again, let's come on to that on Friday if we can. What I'm going to do is we've actually put together a form that we're encouraging you. So come Friday, if you noticed yesterday, we're going live today, we're recording tomorrow, we're going into Zoom on Thursday, but Friday I've left it clear. I do want to have a look and show you how to use this profile. But the rest of that call really is a Q&A session. So what we've done is we've put together a form. I'd like you to post questions like this about mic delay, other things into that form. And we're going to try and work through as many of those questions as possible on Friday's call. But still keep asking the questions in now anyway, because the moderators will be picking up and helping. And yeah, but I'm going to try to leave the questions here for now, and we're going to jump in, and we've got an easier, lighter session today, I think. We're actually going to go live. But before we get to that, I just want to pop in a few things in here. So still do ask your questions. Paul's going to say, put a Q and a colon. It just helps it and makes it easier. You can see a lot of people are used to this already. But it makes it easier when we're looking at this feed and a chat down here to know that it's actually a question and not just a comment. And again, we're going to do about 40 minutes of teaching today, and then we'll answer some questions that we've got. Paul, Katie, Owen are going to be just feeding back. If your question gets missed, we're going to try and feed them back in at the end when we get to that question time, or just hold on to them and we'll pop them in when we get there. And we do need to be off today because Katie and Doc are doing the flow, the show that they've got that starts on the hour straight after this on the Ecamm channel here. So we've got to make sure we get off. I've got an alarm set, Katie, so we'll be off a couple of minutes before, and so no running over today. Okay. And just to say again, sorry, I'm just getting all my little notices out the way first. The Facebook group as well, which we're going to be featuring and using today, Ecamm's community Facebook group. The link will be popped in here into the chat, and there is a Discord server as well. So again, any questions you want to post into there, the instructions will be coming up into the comments. So we want to look after you and help you as best as possible. So we're looking at streaming today. And I just want to kind of cover this one first of all. You know, should you live stream or should you record? Now, and I do a mix of this, and for various reasons. So I think yesterday actually was quite a good example of this. It was quite hard to teach and walk through a training on here. Some of you are wanting to go, you know, happy with the pace. Some of you are struggling and wanting to go back over it. The challenge of doing training live, plus, you know, you can see my desktop, but it's all quite small. And it's quite hard to zoom in and out. And it's just slower. And I'm trying to teach and do it on a live. And so what I tend to do, and most of you, a lot of you will know me from our Ecamm Live Academy. We've got 9 hours worth of content on there. And that, you know, maybe yesterday, if you're with us, you'll realize why it takes 9 hours to go through all this and really dissect it. But I would personally, I would much rather teach on recorded videos where I can go through it at my pace. And then when we edit it, we zoom in and we make it nice and clear and big and back out again. You get to pause it. You can be working alongside, hit play again. So for me, it's always about what does the user want? What is the best experience for the viewer, the guest that's on? So there are times when a live like this is fantastic. We can get this interaction. But there are times when actually putting up a recorded video is better for the viewer than it is to try and follow along with a live. I remember some years ago joining somebody's course and was really interested in this training, but they ran it as live. And I got literally like 5 minutes into the first video and I'm going, whoa, mine doesn't look like that. And they weren't seeing the chat. They were carrying on through the training and I was lost. And I couldn't do anything but to sort of give up and wait for the replay and hope I could find it then. Well, that wouldn't happen in a recorded video. So you'll see that the way we tend to teach is within our academies, we'll create a series of recorded videos and then we use the live sessions for actually Q&A. So we get on a call like this and we'll say, right, so who's been through that training? What did you think to it? Where did you get stuck? Okay, let's dive into that now. And we're picking off those topics. So that's my kind of take on this is, and we can do both in Ecamm. You're going to see tomorrow we're focusing on the recording side of things. So it's just about the experience, really. There are some that would absolutely favor going live rather than recording. And there are benefits like not needing to edit and things like this. Again, I'm afraid I'm still in the camp of, you know, what's the best experience? And if that bit of editing makes it better for my viewer, I'd rather do that than cut corners. All right, so fors and against of both. I don't know what you think. Please, if you want to pop into the chat here, we'll quickly have a look at some answers. Do you prefer from your end? Would you rather watch a live or a recorded? And then actually, if you're doing this training yourself, if you're a content creator, do you find it easier to go live or to record? If I don't get to it now, it'd be good to see that anyway. And like yesterday, I am watching back through these comments in the chat, and it's good to see afterwards. Right, so today we are going to go live. So I know we're live, and we're going to go live inside of a live, right? This is Inception stuff over here. So I'm hoping nothing's going to go wrong. And then for your homework at the end of today, I'm going to encourage you to actually go live yourself as well. But I'll talk a little bit about that when we get to the end. Okay, it's all right. I'm looking at the comments. Shouldn't be out of sync. That's exactly set up. Yeah, right. I'm not going to get distracted by this. We're going to come into here. So what I want to do is today, this is what's happening. We're going to go live. So I've got Rachel's laptop at the side of me again because I can't go live when I'm already in a live. So I've got a brand new profile setup over here. I've actually, I felt that you got a bit confused when I was bringing in a pre-recorded or a pre-made profile for you yesterday. So we're starting with nothing today, and we're going to go live. So we're going to add in a destination, which is what you need to do. So this is choosing Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or somewhere else that you're going to go live to. Then we're going to do a bandwidth check, probably something that you're not familiar with or haven't even seen. So I'm going to show you that one. Then we're actually going to schedule this live for 10 minutes out. And then we're going to build up a simple scene while we're waiting for that live to come up. Then we're going to go live, and hopefully we're going to get some comments on that I want to show you how to brand. So this really is kind of the most basic. And I don't say that meaning it's not hard to get, but in terms of what we're doing, we're not going to do any clever scenes and transitions and things. I just want to initially create one scene, which will be just like this, but it won't have the logo in the corner probably. And I want to show you how we made this and get you going live with it. Because I think let's kind of, we showed you all what could be done yesterday. Now I want to show you it in its simplest form really. And let's go with this. I've just noticed that my plaque's fallen over on the shelf behind me there, but never mind. Okay, so we need to go over to Rachel's computer, which has gone to sleep. No, it's back. So let's come over to this one and yeah, right. I'm just looking at my note. I'm going to make sure that we get this right. So I've got notes up there and I'm working down here. And notice that I've upgraded the camera as well today. Don't be surprised. This one may look out of sync because the mic is coming through from here. And over there, it's, yeah. Right, but yeah, as you can see, so this is just pulling in Rachel's screen, and I have upgraded the camera. So this is what comes through on her MacBook Pro, and we have attached a camera in here today. It was bugging me that the quality had dropped. So what do we do? As you can see, we've got a completely blank profile. There's just the default scene. We've got no overlays in here at the minute. Still, I mentioned this yesterday, keep that sound levels tab over and in front there. This is where our comments are going to come in. The camera switcher I've just pulled down to here, and I've taken off some of the other things that I don't think we need today. All right, so we're trying to keep this simple. So we're coming up to the top, and we need to make sure that all of these are turned. Well, you don't actually need virtual camera, but let's leave it on. We'll come to that one Thursday as to why that one's being used. But we want to record, so we don't want to stream and not have a recording at the end of it. And we are streaming. So if you can't see new down here, chances are it's because stream is turned off. If you're seeing record at the bottom, then you need to come up to here, click stream to bring that back in. Now I'm just going to try actually to, because this is coming in as a camera, let's see if I can, yeah, zoom in a little bit so you're seeing a little bit more of the screen, or a little bit less of the screen, but a bit closer in. All right, so we can now click here and say new, and this is what you get. So we're choosing a broadcast. We can go live now, unscheduled, or we can actually schedule one. And I reckon you're more likely to, well, I don't know. Owen was just saying earlier he thinks probably just going live now is certainly a starting point if you just want to test it and try it. I'm keen to actually schedule one so that we're going to go into the Facebook community group. And for some of you, if you can cope with multitasking, you could open up another tab or on another device and actually go into the Facebook group, and you can see what happens when we schedule a live, and then you can actually jump in and watch it over there. and you can see the comments coming through. It would be good for you actually if you were to go over to that Facebook group. When you put a comment in, you'll see when it appears in my comments window at quite what that delay is. So we choose a destination. And as I said, you can choose from any of, sorry, that's because I've zoomed my window in and now it's gone off. Let's cancel that and bring it a bit higher. I can cover my face. There we go. Or we'll come slightly to the side. So, right. So we're going to say add, and we're adding a new destination. And here are the options that we've got. So we at the minute are obviously in YouTube. So that would have been selected here. We've got X, LinkedIn, Twitch, Amazon Live, Instagram Live. And then this is an option to go out to with an RTMP key. We can go out to other places as well. Again, we're not going to get into that one today. So let's click a Facebook or Facebook, and it says to me, I've already logged into this. You would need first time just to link it up with Facebook. So it's going to ask you for your profile details, but it's already got me here. And I could either go to my personal profile or to a business page, or what we're going to do is go to a group. And this will give me options for any group that I'm in where Ecamm is activated. So I'm going to scroll down here and we can see Ecamm Live Community. So I can add that in as a destination. Now, if I wanted to add more destinations in, if I wanted to go live at the same time to multiple groups, I could click Add Destination. And let's pick another Facebook group. So we've actually got a test group, for instance. And all that is Owen and myself that are in that group. It becomes a really good space to practice. I can play with lives and test things out without fear of anybody jumping in or wondering what we're doing. So you could create that. You could, keep adding in destinations in here, and that will then set this to schedule. Now, this also tells me down here that I'm going to come to another place, but see at the bottom it says required speed 10 meg is what it's suggesting I'm going to need to do a live. That's my upload speed. And I've got a green tick because we're more than 10 meg. Now I'm just going to turn that one off for now. And what I'll do is choose a... I've already just used a little note thing down here, a little sticker. I'm going to put my title in because Blue Peter style. Those of you in the UK will know what I'm talking about. If I got this ready to go, it saves a bit of time. So I've got a title, I've got a description. So I'm just putting in here because you're going to see this appear. We're just demonstrating live streaming as part of the Ecamm challenge. Come and join us. And then I've put the link in there to actually come over and join us. So then if I were going live now, I'd just click go live now and we'd go straight into the group. I want to schedule this. So we are 4:20, 4:30. I reckon we could do that. And we're just going to add an image. And I've just dropped actually today's challenge when I thought that made sense to use that. So I'm going to click plus. So all I could just do is either drag it up or I click it and it looks in Finder to see what's there. And I can say schedule. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Okay, right. Plan B. I wonder why it's doing that. Ecamm Live Community. If it doesn't go this time, no, it's not going to go. I'm not sure what's happening there. But let's forget that. We're just going to go into my test group. So, Owen, you're going to have to just jump in. This is test group AS. So we'll still do the same thing. We'll schedule it for 10 minutes out. Or do we go live to our YouTube channel? Yeah, but I don't think that's linked up. And that's then going to want, no. For the sake of time, we're going to go to this one, I'm afraid. Or to my profile page. It'd be nice for people to see it. Right, okay, you're going to have to trust us, I'm afraid, with this one. That's a real shame, but I'm not quite sure what happened there. Hopefully this one's going to work. Yeah, happens to us all, absolutely. That's a little bit worrying. Right, okay, phew. So this is also something that will appear. So now I've got a live scheduled. You can see that it says here that if I want to, I could, let me zoom in a little bit more. So it tells me down here that this live is in 8 minutes. And if I wanted to click on this upcoming, any of the lives that I've got scheduled will appear up here. And I can click on the link and it will say, go to the event or copy the event URL. So if I click to go to the event, there was me thinking this was going to go so well today. But you can head over there. Owen's going to go to it. I know it's happening. Don't worry. But that's, if you wanted the link to be able to share out to your audience, that's where you get it and that's where it goes. So we can watch down here and in 7 minutes, we know this is going to go live. And I reckon that's just enough time for us to brand up a scene over here. So remember, we can, the command tilde allows us to take this off the screen. Let me just show you up here that it's, where are we? Hide main window controls. So that's apparently that's called a tilde. So here we start. Now we'll back out a little bit on that zoom. And there we go, that'll do. So we're going to create a new scene. And what I want to do on this one, we are choosing the source to be blank. So this is exactly as it says, blank. We've got no overlays, nothing in here. And where I gave you an image last time, let's just create something from scratch inside of Ecamm. So the bottom left overlay here is an object. And when we click this pencil symbol, we can see it's a rectangle. We are taking off this corner radius, and color, rather than a color, I'm going to choose a gradient. And we're going to try and bring in Ecamm's branding colors here. So this purple, blue in the background, let's see if we can't recreate that. So I can actually use it when I click. So gradient gives me 2 colors. Okay, and you'll see in a minute how we work between them. So for my first color, I could come over here and have a stab at it and see where I think that's probably right. Or I can use this color. I was too zoomed in. I can use this color picker over here, and I can actually come over to my page and let's pick something. It's just a bit challenging because it's picking up those small pixels. Let's go with that. And then in the second box, I can come back and let's again use the color picker and come over to one of these lighter boxes. Is that going to work? Yeah, that's not bad. So I can click the pencil, and now with this gradient, see how I can rotate that around? So I'm going to go kind of left to right. I think that's picking up that background. And then I can push this up to the top corner, pull it right down to the bottom corner, and I'm going to move this into show in backgrounds. It's a little bit harder trying to bring, I'm not sharing my screen, I'm sharing that one. So I've now brought it into the background as a rectangle, so whenever I go to blank scene now, it will always show that one. Now I'm just realizing that I'm, okay, 4 minutes out. So now in this new scene, what are we going to do? In the current scene here, we are going to bring in the camera. So this little camera symbol at the bottom is a camera overlay. And what I can do, remember I showed you yesterday that you've got these blue markers around the edge. So I can go to that. Now this is set at the minute to 16 by 9. So when I click on this pencil, videos source has gone off the screen. You can see up here that firstly, while we've got that, let's change the camera source over. And then instead of wide, I'm going to choose custom. And that means that I can grab this right corner and I can really just reshape this however I want. So I go all the way over until I get that blue line, which tells me I'm in that sort of snapping area. I can bring it down to the bottom. And now I've just created that background look. Then I'm going to click my pencil again and I'm going to add a border this time. So I can put a color border on this. I can adjust the width of this border and I can change the color of this border. Now it might be that just white works well on here, or maybe we're going to be brave and we'll bring in that orange. So we really are trying. In fact, we could do the same thing and instead of having a color, we could have a gradient. Okay. Hold tight. I know this is there's a lot going on here. So we've got this lighter orange to, let's go with a darker version of it. So if you remember, we picked last time from here. So I could have gone lighter at the bottom. In fact, I will. I've still got a few minutes. So I'm going to pick once in this lighter orange. And then for the second gradient, I know someone's shouting at me now that they're going too fast, but I hope this is good. And like somebody said, you can absolutely watch the replay and go through this a couple of times. So again, I choose the next box, the next gradient. I use the color picker again. Hang on, I want to get rid of that because I want to be able to pick, I want it to pick this color here. So I'm going to use the color picker, come over to here. And so now what I've done is I've created this. So we've got this lighter orange at the bottom up to the darker at the top that's within that frame. Now, if I just zoom in a bit on here, you'll see a bit clearer what we're doing. Yeah, so you might need to watch this a couple of times, but that wasn't that complicated, was it? To be able to, we brought a background in and then we put the camera overlay over the top of it. We put a frame around it. And we added a gradient. So actually, this is, you know, you've got a pretty advanced look here, but hopefully you agree that wasn't too hard to make. And there it sits in all its glory. So I don't actually need, let's tidy up a few things here. I don't need to worry about my camera switcher. I do want to keep the sound levels on. So now I've created a scene that I'm just going to call me over here. So that was my default. It's fine, but that isn't really any different to what we could do when we were just feeding straight into Facebook. So now I've put this nice bit of branding on here, and that's your first scene done. Okay. And how long have we got before we go live? 43 seconds, 41 seconds until we go live. So Owen is going to be ready. I'm going to delete that note again. I'm sorry. I'm totally OCD. And if I can have this tidy, I will. Let's just see. What do you think to this with, just seeing anything on there. Well, I've got a few seconds, quickly whizzing back up. Right. Where do you find... I'll keep you answering that one. Right, we're nearly there. So can you see over here now that this is kind of flashing at me saying, go live, we've hit the time. So when I click go live now, you'll see what happens. This thing counts down. And then I get at the top. Remember, I showed you this on the live that we were doing over there. It tells me at the top, we're in 1080 at the minute. We're going out live. I've just realized what I didn't do was show you the bandwidth checker. But we're live now and it tells me that nobody is watching. So when Owen sees this pop up, he's going to jump on and you're going to see how this feeds in over here. So give me a heads up, Owen, when you're on and seeing this. Found the group and right. So we're looking here. So when Owen appears, we should see 0 become a 1. And then when Owen types a comment in, we'll see it. Right, you got that? So there's our one, and there's Owen just saying, hey. Now, again, this is kind of the magic of Ecamm. I absolutely love this, that we can brand up this comment and bring it on screen. If you were here at the start, you saw me bringing up some comments in the chat. So I can click over here in the little icon at the side. Now, this is coming up saying Facebook user, and quite often inside of groups, because of Facebook's privacy, it's locking this down and it's not letting us see who the user is. So Owen probably hasn't got, because I don't think this is set up to have that link to request for Ecamm to see it. We do put a link in here that you just need to give Ecamm permission to see who you are, and then it will change from Facebook user. Is it there? No. Right, I'm going to click this and bring it in anyway. And so this is by default what happens to a comment when it comes on screen. But in exactly the same way that we branded your camera view, we can go into this now and we can brand this comment. But what I need to do first is this is set down here to say in the preferences, automatically hide the comment after 15 seconds, which is a great feature because it means that you can bring a comment on and then you carry on talking and you don't need to worry about where the comment's gone or actually hiding the comment afterwards. It'll automatically go. When we're setting it up and branding it like this, I don't want it to disappear. I'm wondering whether you can try and find that, Owen. That it will be at the bottom of the comments in Ecamm. It would be good to be able to see a picture on here. So I'm going to click the pencil and we're just going to quickly edit this. So we can edit the text in the same way that if you were bringing a text box on. So notice that I've got the title at the top here. This would be somebody's name. It would be saying Owen Salisbury. I can change the color of just this part if I want to. So let's go back with an orange. And then I could pick up on the text itself and I can change the color of that. I can change the branding of it. I'm actually going to stay with these defaults for now. And when I hit save, on it comes. Now, I can set this again. There's a couple of, I don't want to get too far into messing you up on this. There are different styles with text. I'm going to just pick this dynamic one, which means that it will change the size of this depending on how much content is there. We could also go into this. Remember how in the other one, we could change the color to be a gradient, or we could change it just to be a solid color. So I, again, am going to pick, I'm just going to stop this zooming in and out. I'm trying to make it easier, but it's getting harder, isn't it? So again, if I pick this darker color of the orange, and then on the other side of the gradient, we're going to pick the lighter color. Then we're doing this same effect over here and we're creating this gradient on here. Now, if I wanted to put a border around it, we could just, like that is, a white border around it. We can drop shadow in, although it's not really showing up because the background is dark in here. And what else can I tell you we can do? Lots of things, all these different features that we can do with this. And then I could actually do a transition that said, fly in from bottom. Hey, excellent. Right, so can you see now that Owen has, so he's ticked the box, which lets him come in, and we can now see that I can see his name. I didn't really think that through, did I? Orange on orange. I just need to change that text back because it's not what we want. What do we go with? Do we think we go with the dark blue? I'm hearing you all shouting, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's in. It worked better in when Ecamm did the branding, but so there we go. I can make these comments come in, and once I've branded one of them, every comment that comes in afterwards will carry this same branding on it. So I can decide where I want it to sit, how big I want the box, and as you saw, really powerfully, I can change the colors, the fonts. I can even adjust how big I want this little logo to come in, the little image that comes in from YouTube or Facebook or wherever. Is that cool? Are you impressed with that? So we're live within a live, and thank you, Owen, for being our guest. Tells me up here I've been on for 6 minutes. I would normally now turn back on this automatically hiding, so you'll see that I don't have to worry about this comment disappearing. It's just going to go. Yeah, I think that's kind of worked well. And I reckon we're doing well. Can we save those text settings beforehand? Yes. So you can do that. And what we can do in advance is under overlays, add placeholder comment overlay. I lost where it was then. So if in advance you could do that, I would personally recommend that you do something like this and either go live to yourself. So let me just end this one out. That didn't pick up the close in 15 seconds. It will if I bring it in again. I think it's just because it was it had started and it hadn't seen it come in, if you know what I mean. Now, I tell you what we'll do. Are we all right for time? Ooh, we're tight. Quickly, I want to show you one more scene, because when I asked you at the start about features you didn't know about or you were interested to see, widgets was the big one. And I want to show you that actually it's not that hard or scary to do. So we could come into this now and create another scene. So I'm going to hit plus over here. I'm going to change the source to blank, but this time it's kept my background in behind it. And now I can click this little globe symbol at the bottom, and that's going to bring in a widget. And so what I could put in here is I give it a name, and that's purely for what it will look like in the overlays. And then I could grab the link, which that would teach me. I went and closed down that tab too quick and I've lost the challenge, but I think I can copy it over here. I do love this about Apple. There it goes. Right. So I've just dropped into here. This is the challenge link for what you're in at the minute. This is where you registered. So I could add this in. Let's pull in the options first of all. I want this to be full size, 30 frames, high resolution, keep running. And potentially in this case, let's go fill entire frame. So it's going to fill the whole window. And I can say add widget overlay, and there it goes. So let's call that challenge page. And now we can go from me over here and I say, I'm talking about this challenge, and I say, let's go over actually, and you can register here. I click that next scene and spot over here. Where are we? We're going to zoom in again. So right in here, there is this little toggle that appears. And at the minute, I can't scroll on this window. But when I toggle that on, I can now interact with this page as if it were open in front of me. Isn't that clever? So I'm not actually, I haven't got that open on this window, you can see, because you can see everything that I can see. And I haven't got any other attached screens. This is all that's going on this laptop. So it means that I don't have to have Chrome browsers over to show those windows. I think this is super powerful. And so there it is. I've brought it in as full screen. If I wanted to be on screen with it, I could bring in a little camera box. And let me take those off for a sec. I can resize this. And I could, whoop. Hang on, my mouse is gone. I just got rid of it. Maybe I want to go up to here. I forgot that Rach has a mouse set on a really sensitive. And I'm going to change that camera over again. And how cool is that? So again, as simple as that, I could put myself up there. Maybe I decide that I want to be in a circle for a change. All right, so I've gone from this one over here, and then I'm in my presentation, and then I want to just walk people through a page. I come over here, and that will now let me just scroll through that and interact with that page while I'm still on camera in that box. Come back to this scene and we carry on. Okay, when I want to finish this, you can see we've been going for 10 minutes now. I'm going to finish this. I click it once and then it just gives me this kind of double check. Are you definitely sure? I click it again and I end the broadcast. down it goes. And as you see here, we get an instant link here to a recording. And I can just click show file. And there's my recording. Counts down. And then how cool is that? So there it is. Back over to big screen. How have you found that? I'm going to come across, I am definitely coming to some questions now. Did I miss anything? Did that make sense? Hopefully we can go through this. You know, you can watch this back. This is live here, or I say it is live at the minute, obviously, but it's here out on YouTube. You can watch this video through as many times as you want. Pause it, have a go at it, and what I would encourage you to do, you have an option to go live just to yourself as a hidden live, so nobody else will see it. But the beauty of doing that, yes, you can brand it, but you will actually get to realize what that delay is like, and it can be really educational to do. In our Ecamm Academy, it's one of the first things I get people to do is to go live to themselves. And I've had so much feedback of people saying, oh, wow, that was really useful. I didn't realize there was such a delay in me asking and it taking time for the questions to come in. So it's good if you're a waffler like me, because it gives a chance to say something and then get those comments back in. Right, so I'm going to come down to the bottom here. And lots of cool stuff in there. Definitely worth the second view to get all those details. Absolutely. So you can separate the audio and video in Descript. You don't need to do that into Descript though. You can split this out in here. So let me just show you. I'll come back into this one. Easier to show you in this one. So we didn't in this, but what I can do is go into the settings over here, and under recording, we have an option here so we record all the broadcasts. That's because we ticked it out on the front, but we can record isolated video tracks. So if I've got multiple cameras feeding in, I can actually get a separate recording from each camera. Especially useful if you've got guests on and you want to be able to have those separate individual videos afterwards. You'll get the mixed file, but you'll also get the clean ones from each of the cameras or guests that are attached. And then we also have record isolated audio tracks. And if I tick this, then what it will do, and if I just very quickly show you, I turn stream on, I'll just record something for 2 seconds, and you'll see actually that we're going to get 2 separate files back at the end of this. So I finish it, end the recording, show file, and now you see that it gives me a folder, and there's my video and there's my audio. So you don't need to go to Descript to separate those files out. Ecamm's done it for you. How can I do live Zoom sessions through Ecamm using overlays? We're going to do that on Thursday, Deepak. So that's our topic for Thursday. Tomorrow we're going to be actually recording, and then on Thursday we're going to be taking all of this and going into Zoom. And we'll do a similar thing where I'll actually do a Zoom call and I can pop some comments in or pop a link in, and a few of you could head over there and actually see what it's like on the Zoom. Amazing. I love to see that. Widgets feature is great. Yep. That's fantastic, Diana. Thank you. Did you show the bandwidth checker? Thank you, Henry. No, I didn't. Let me come back over to this one. It is nice having 2 computers on the go like this. So let's just, we're back in these preferences, and what I can do is, where am I? Stream. So notice at the bottom of the screen here, it tells me the required speed because I'm only going to one destination, it's only going to ask me for 5 megs as an upload speed. If I wanted to go to multiple destinations, well, actually you can see here, if I upgraded this to 4K, look what's going to happen on that required bandwidth. It's now just jumped up to 12.8 meg, and it's still happy because, as you can see there, we have got an upload speed here of 670. And if I want to run that test again, it will automatically do one for me, but I can just refresh that and do another test, and away it goes. I'll let it do its thing. But yeah, that's how it does it. And in fact, while it's doing that, let me pull this back down to 1080, or actually really high. Let's put it on really high and see what it's going to give me. But now I'm kind of stuck on this scene. There you go. So 601. So it's given me that that speed and telling me that I'm okay with that. How do you go live to yourself? These are great questions. So let me very quickly do that one again. So when I choose a destination, add a new destination, I'm going to say, so I'm already in, but let's go to profile. Okay, sorry. I was thinking it was going to show me it there. So this is going to my profile. So I've put that in as a destination. If I went to stream, and I want to say a new stream to, let's forget that one. We just want to say add. I'm going to go to Adrian Salisbury, but see how here it says public? I can choose only me. And now I can go live and maybe just go live now on this, in this case. I would do it, but I'm just looking at the time and I really got to get off and in 10 minutes, I'll go on. We'll go live now. Test. Don't worry, Katie, we will be off. Test and test. So this is going to my profile, but only I'm going to be able to see it. So if I click go live now and I grab my phone, hopefully I'm going to see it. It will freak you out because you're going to see it pop up and it will show you that you're live. But I promise you, nobody else can see it apart from you. Come on. There it is. Right. So I can now see on there that I've gone live, and it's a great way to test this out. All right. Thank you for the questions. I should remember to turn that one off, end the broadcast, come back over here. Yeah, absolutely. This is camera lights in. Cheryl, this is actually our, we teach Ecamm. We teach this Ecamm Live Academy. But our main thing is impact, and it's helping people to stand out looking professional on camera. So this is actually what we teach. And Lights Camera Impact is a webinar that you can have a look over there if you want to find out more about that. I don't know if Owen, are you still on there? Can you just pop in Lights Camera Impact for me? Everyone needs an Owen. Good. I'm glad, Creative Amplifiers, you're enjoying seeing this. I kind of thought let's just keep it simpler, but we'll want to walk you through it and let you see everything as we're doing it. Does this make more sense as well now that this all looked quite fancy, seeing all this branding, but actually hopefully you saw over there how we've built all this up, and it, when you've done it a few times, it makes a lot of sense. Using more than one phone camera, I don't know that you can actually hook to, I don't think continuity camera, you can do more than one camera. If you want to ask in the community group, someone will come back to you on that one, I'm sure. Audio settings, again, it's a little bit deep for this beginner session. I think if you could ask into that Ecamm community group, someone will absolutely come back and give you some answers on that one. And to be honest, this is, for us as a musician, if you're trying to hook up different instruments and things and going through mixers, that's more than what I do here anyway. So I definitely ask into the group, calling for musicians, and you'll get some great feedbacks. Yes, you're right. Isolated track does require the Apple processor, Mac processor. When do you use the invite button that's at the bottom? I'm not sure what you were looking at there. Would that be that you've in the interview mode, do you mean? Sorry, I'm going to try and skip through because I know there's a lot here. What's the cost of Ecamm? Guys can answer that in the chat here as well. But you definitely can get a discount by paying annually. Yeah, audio separation, absolutely incredible. And you think of, for a lot of folk that are doing recording podcasts and things, used to have to open this up and either in QuickTime or somewhere else trying to split it all out. It's all done for you now, and it makes it super easy. If you're sending this to somebody else or you're editing it yourself, and this mix is great, but then you think, I wish I'd have got them full screen when they said that amazing thing. I could have used that as a testimonial. Well, you've got that separate video file and you've got the separate audio as well. Bring in file types. We just leave this set in here, to be honest, we've got this set as .movs. You could ask different places. You're going to get different feedback, but that would be my take on it. It's more universal. Can I bring it in a presentation? Yes, absolutely you can. So let's do that Thursday when we're doing the Zoom one. We'll take it out there and I'll bring a presentation on screen. Let me know, would you rather the presentation, is this like a, well, no, we'll just do it. We'll do a keynote presentation and we'll bring it in and feed it in that way. When working with a presenter on camera, you're a producer pressing the buttons, any tips how to make it non-technical for the host? Yeah, absolutely. So Jeremy, this would be a good use of that preview mode. So if I just come into live demo over here, remember we said that this preview mode over here, I can just click go back to live mode, but it's now given me this extra window that I could either put this on an attached screen, or the other way that I could do it is under my outputs up here, video monitor. If I've got another monitor attached over a HDMI cable or something else, they can see everything that's going on here. The reason, sorry, I'm I'm trying to answer questions, but I don't want to get technical. If you've got somebody that's watching on and they're just standing in another room, another space, if you use the video monitor, it'll take the whole screen up of that monitor. With that preview window that I just used, you could position that on the screen and then you could actually have some comments, or they could put their notes on the rest of the screen on there as well. So different ways you could do it. We've done it with folk where, like now in the chat, someone could be, so you as the producer could take that question and maybe send it to them in a WhatsApp chat, so they could be presenting with their phone in their hand and they've got the questions coming in that have been thinned out by you. Right. Pass, Brent. Oh, we'd love that to happen. It's all set up from Ecamm side, I believe. Again, maybe someone in the moderators might actually know more than I do, but tutorials on how to bring in live videos from a DJI drone as a camera. Oh, no, I haven't tried that. Again, it might be worth asking in the Ecamm community. There's thousands of guys in there, some real techies that someone will have tried it. Probably Doc if I know him. Day 2. Yep. Yeah, okay, so adding that in. Yeah, but hopefully you've got the sheet that you saw that and saw how to do it. Now, quickly talking of homework, what I should have brought on here, I haven't got a scene ready for this, so I'm just going to drop it onto this one. But this is the PDF that we've given you to download today. And so if I pop that there, you can see. So we've done a pre-live checklist. And so I've just walked you through. There's my alarm going off, Katie. We'll be off in 2 minutes. So a pre-live checklist, you can work your way through that. It's the sort of thing you can print off and just have in front of you that whenever you're going live, just to have a little reminder, bit of a checklist. These are the things I need to do. Now, please, again, if we didn't get to your question today, we're going to do Friday a big Q&A. So I think if Paul's got the link to that form, that we can drop it into the chat here if you want to, and we'll keep posting it in and we'll pop it into the emails as well if there's something that you really want to cover that we haven't covered in the first 4 days. So there's no rush on getting it in there. It's not going to be first come, first serve. We'll have a look on Friday morning and really pull those together as to what is the most common question that's being asked, and we'll make sure we'll pulling that back through. And again, as we've been saying, please use the group, use the Discord server, use the hashtag from in here, and then you can ask away your questions over there, and we'll do our best to get to you. And if you're watching it in the replay, we are keeping an eye on the comments that are coming up below. It's a shame how YouTube splits it out. The live chat sits in one place and then the comments come below. But if you're watching it on the replay and want to pop a comment in, I will get back to you as quick as possible, or probably get beaten by Katie, who's doing a fantastic job. But one of us will get to you and we'll answer you. So hopefully you've enjoyed today. And it's been quicker, but we've kind of done something and created something at the end of it. And then tomorrow we'll be coming at it the same way, but we'll be actually recording something tomorrow. So I reckon there'll be more time to play with some scenes and answer some of your questions. Okay, we're done. Katie, I said I'd be out, and that's given you a few minutes to get yourself ready. And I will come back through these questions and make sure we're covering everything in the next one. See you same time tomorrow. Why don't you stick around and watch Katie and Doc for the flow that'll be coming up in a few minutes right here. All the best. See you tomorrow. Bye.